So, Bapak Ibu, we will continue. The next rule is today's session is being recorded by to be available for viewing post-conference. And if you have questions for the presenters, you may raise your hand and turn on your microphone and ask them out, or use the chat feature in this Zoom meeting, and I will read your question on the conference platform for this session for presenters to answer after they present. Each presenter today will have a total of 10 minutes for their presentation. If one presenter completes his presentation before the 10 minutes, there may be time for a question from attendees. Dear presenters and all participants, now we will have our first presenter, Ibu Wiwin Julianti, Rihan Mustafa Zahri, Erma Wulansari, and Ahmad Nur Aziz with the paper title, Does the Application of Fintech and Financial Literacy Affect the Financial Management Behavior? But unfortunately, we cannot see them live to present, so we will watch the video sent to us by the presenters.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning.
Okay, is the video and audio accessible to you, dear participants? Yes, okay, I will continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, an honor to meet you in this beautiful today, ICETECH 2022, the third international conference on education and technology by Universitas PGRI Madiun. I would like to say thank you for coming in my presentation. It's great to see you all. Let me introduce myself and my partner. My name is Wiwin Julianti, and then my partner Rihan Mustafa Zahri, Erma Wulansari, and the last Ahmad Nur Aziz. We are from D3 Manajemen Pajak, FEB UNIPMA. Okay, we are proudly present the materials for our study under the title, Does the Application of Fintech and Financial Literacy Affect the Financial Management Behavior? We are hoping that you can follow our presentation for our discussion later. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please look at the picture on the second slide. What do you see in the picture? Great, we will continue finding out what's going on there. You can see here in the graph on the slide. World Bank 2016 defined fintech as an industry consisting of companies that use technology to make the financial system and delivery of financial service more efficient. From the graphic, it can be described that Indonesia's total population is 268.2 million, while mobile users reach 355.5 million. On the third point, explain active internet users are 150 million. This graphic figure shows that more than half of Indonesia's population has used the internet. Even the number of the mobile customers exceeds the total population. And then, from the graphic, the social media aspect, 50% more active in using social media platform. And then the table from data analyzer firm AppAni note the development of digital wallets application in Indonesia has increased by about 50% from 2017 to the second quarter of 2019. From this process, there are 10 main findings from the most popular e-wallet application in Indonesia. Okay, move on the table. Local e-wallet applications still dominate cashless payment activities in Indonesia. A large number of local players in the Indonesian fintech industry make a local e-wallet application still the prima donna for cashless solution in Indonesia. Similar to the number of apps download, local e-wallet application managed to rank in the top 5 with GoPay in first, and then OVO in second, followed by Dana in third, Link Aja in fourth, and then the last Isaku in 5. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on the third side about the purpose. The Industrial Revolution 4.0 began to change various sides of human life in the sector of economy, social, community behavior. The Industrial Revolution, which was marked by the emergence of various of fintech companies. The aim of this research is to obtain the knowledge regarding the influence of financial technology or fintech and financial literacy toward financial management behavior. And then this research conducted in Surakarta. Okay, the next slide describes the literature review. There are several theoretical foundations used in this paper regarding financial technology, financial literacy, and then financial management behavior. Based on several studies and theoretical studies, the following hypotheses can be formulated. First, fintech utilization has a significant positive effect on the student financial management behavior in Surakarta. And then second, financial literacy has a significant positive effect on student financial management behavior in Surakarta. Okay, next slide describes about the method of this research paper. The design is quantitative research. The population was all students in the city of Surakarta. Sampling technique is proportive sampling with the criteria that have been set. The economic student of public university and private university in Surakarta has used financial technology-based application type mobile payment or digital wallet. And then the data were collected using as and questionnaire where the respondents only choose the available answer. And then the next analysis carried out was a regression analysis. Okay, let's move on the next slide. This slide describes about the results. The table tell about the satisfaction level of financial technology user. Okay, and then the table of respondent financial literacy based on correct response. Mean correct response all aspect has mean 75.63 or on the medium level. Okay, and then the frequency scale of respondents' financial management behavior shows that the level of personal financial management is dominated by the medium level of 60.57%. Okay. The results of this research indicate that the application of fintech has negative influence toward financial management behavior, while financial literacy has a positive and significant effect on student financial management behavior. In addition, the research shows that gender and education are able to control the research variable. This research has two implications. First, financial literacy is an important factor in supporting student financial behavior. The higher knowledge of students, the better at making financial decisions. And then, the use of fintech has negative effect on student financial management behavior due to the limited research sample and cashless activities, which cause a consumerism culture has not been able to provide a good understanding of student financial behavior. Move to the last slide that shows the conclusion. Based on data analysis and discussion that has been carried out, it can be concluded that the use of fintech and financial literacy has an effect on financial management behavior of students in Surakarta partially or simultaneously with gender and education as controlling variable. The study also provides evidence that the use of fintech application, e-wallet or digital wallet, has not been able to provide a good understanding for students to manage personal financial appropriately. It means students who use fintech application must be balanced with sufficient financial literacy skill so they are not trapped in irresponsible financial behavior. And then the limitation of this research is difficult to find reference to financial literacy questionnaire from Chen and Verb that match the character of the research. Future research is expected to measure fintech variable from another aspect that obtained from the observation method. In summary, it's been a great discussion with you all. We don't feel like we are the one who present something, but we all did. Thank you very much for your great attention and active participation through this presentation. Thank you.
Well, okay. That will be all for the presentation video from the first speaker. Whenever you have questions or comments for this presentation, don't be hesitant to write on the chat box, and then we will help you to send your question through the presenter's email. Okay, is it understood for the presenters? Well then, let's move on to the second presenters, Mrs. Elana Erayus Vita, Intan Amalia Fadila, Mrs. Serliana Juwita Ningrum, with the paper title, Elements of Stakeholders in the Design of MSME, Simple Financial Records. So Ibu Elana, will you present this paper live?
No, please play the video that I sent to committee. Thank you.
Okay then. So we will play the video from the second presenters. Please wait for a moment.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
How is it, participants? Is the audio and video accessible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I will continue.
In the name of God, the most precious and most merciful, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dearest participant, I am Elana Erayus from Accounting Education Department, Universitas PGRI Madiun, as presenter for a paper titled Elements of Stakeholders in the Design of MSME Simple Financial Records. And this is our team. First part is introduction. Decision making determines a business success, as said by Al-Obaidi and Salman in 2019. If the benefits exceed the cost, then management will accept it. MSME owners do not compile financial report is because they think accounting is complicated and only want to compile records according to their needs. So far, there has been no identification of the needs of MSME owner to make a financial recording system. In fact, the role of MSME is very big to Indonesia, to our country. And MSMEs also have an essential contribution to the global economy. MSMEs worldwide have a small and unimportant role in setting standards. We should increase research to recognize needs because accounting is formed in the environment in which it is applied. And we took a case study on a batik maker group. Along with this need, student understanding the preparation of financial records is still below average. It can be seen during the accounting computer practicum related to accounting forms and records that students only copy from the manual to the software. This is the similar studies about financial record and MSME. So the purpose of this study is first, identify stakeholders' needs in financial records, and the second is create a simple financial record product based on stakeholder needs. The second part is research method. We use qualitative methods, and this research was carried out in 2021 in Sidomulyo Village, Madiun Regency, East Java, Indonesia. The informant consists of a batik group manager, a treasurer, and 13 group members. Observations are made on financial records made by the treasurer, which are in journals only. The result and discussion. We found that the batik production types is two, consists of regular and by order. The problems identified were, first, managers need financial reports to monitor raw material, cash inflow and outflows. Second, raw material and tools used or mixed between private and group property, even though this affects the cost of production. And the three is group members do not know the profit sharing scheme between owners of capital goods, groups, and batik makers. And this is the result of observation. And the solution is we need to direct the need for identification of research and research of funding. And this is the first product that we produce. This is a productive mom's book, or in Indonesia, buku ibu produktif. And each column is created for interested parties while recording the cost of production, selling price, and the profit sharing scheme. Okay, the second record that is needed is cash book. The cash book is used to record incoming and outgoing cash. We use cash-based records here. This is the FGD stage. And this research from student perspective, we know that CTL consists of 7 steps. This is the explanation of and step 3. And this study, in this study, the accounting education student team carried out the constructivism stage and found it through a survey in batik group, independently or accompanied by lecturers. And this is the step 2. The session, apart from giving example of critical questions, the lecturers also use the issue of carrying the good name of the association. It triggers active students because they feel the good name of their group is at stake. And this is the step 4, learning community. In the study, a student can return to the batik group whenever they need data, then discuss it in groups outside of lecture hours. And then step 5, modeling. In this activity, students and lecturers who visit practitioners at their place of business are free. And then step 6, reflection. Students had the opportunity to show what they had learned to the community through FGDs. Students show the product to all members of the batik group, as well as how to use it. The time is also not as narrow as learning time in class. And then step 7, authentic assessment. This opportunity is only used by lecturers to strengthen the students' understanding of accounting and is not intended for class assessment. And then the last part is a conclusion. The solution is to have a dialogue and design a simple financial recording scheme. And the products are productive mom's book and cash book with unique formulas. The limitation of this research is its focus on solving the group's internal problems, so that the products compiled might not be compared with other MSMEs by external parties. This product is unique and is not to be generalized. Suggestion? So that's all. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, well, that will be all for the presentation video for the second speaker. So how is it, Bu Elana? Do you open for, will you answer questions live?
Yes, of course.
Yes, okay.
Is there
So,
any question? Maybe.
yes, okay. So how is it, dear participants and other presenters? Do you have something to ask, or do you have comments for the second presentation by Ibu Elana and her team? Elements of stakeholders in the design of MSME Simple Financial Record. Yes, please. Because if we're afraid if we hold all questions until the end of the session, we're afraid that there will be some forgotten topics. Yeah, because the gap of time will be too long. Yes, so please, the other participants. Ibu Elana, so please once again, what does MSME stand for? MSME stand for kepanjangannya.
Oh, in Indonesia it called UMKM.
Okay, so
Okay.
how is it? Middle,
Middle, small, and medium enterprise. Yes.
Oh, entrepreneurs. You mean entrepreneurs? Yes. Okay. Yes. So that is the meaning of MSME. Okay. And yes. So how is it? Please, the other participants. And what do you mean about batik group, Ibu?
Sorry?
Batik group. So
Yes.
What do you mean by batik group?
The batik group is
Community.
what I should say a group for ibu-ibu that making batik. Yes, in a village. Yes. They have a manager and a treasurer to manage the ingoing cash, outgoing cash, and then the sales. Yes.
So it is a community of batik maker. Yeah.
Yes.
You say like that? Okay. Yes.
I think this is unique in Indonesia, and we have no standard how the MSME to make some financial records based on their needs.
Okay, I see.
That's why I research this theme, because I think that it is interesting for us to explore it and then present it to the world.
Okay.
Because
yes, very nice, Ibu. Okay.
Yeah.
Ibu Elana, would that be convenient for you if there are some questions sent to you by email?
Yes, of course. If
Yes.
any question, or all of you, some of you may be interesting in my research based on the kearifan lokal. What's in English?
Local wisdom.
Local wisdom. So you can email me in elaradita@unipma.ic.id.
Okay. Will that be convenient for you to write your email in the message box?
Yes.
Ditulis di message saja, Ibu. Nanti biar bisa baca semua.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you for the second presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the third presentation by Mrs. Rosalina Alerta and Mrs. Vivian Segumpan. I hope I pronounced them correctly. With the paper title, Guided Reading Lessons featuring digital stories on students' reading comprehension. Okay, so how is it for these presenters? Have you joined this meeting? Yes, okay.
Yeah, I believe my partner, my co-author, submitted her video. Yes, with the link.
Oh, I'm afraid not yet, ma'am. because I could not find the video.
Just wait, I will be, because she's not around. Just wait.
Okay.
If it's okay, you can proceed with the other presenter. I still need to contact my partner, ma'am, because
Okay.
she was able to submit it, she said, this morning.
Okay. Well, so let's skip for a while. Okay. Yeah, well, let's move to the fourth presentation by Mrs. Rini Dwi Septiani, Mr. Iron Fajrul, and Mrs. Dewi Surani with the paper title Integration Technology in English for Specific Purpose, or ESP, ESP course design for the law students. Similar to the previous presentation, unfortunately, these presenters yes.
Miss Vita,
Yeah.
may I directly present
Yes.
my article now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Well, I had sent the recording, but today I'm able to present our article
Live. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
That will be much better, Ibu.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Vita.
Okay. You may take
Okay.
the stage in 10 minutes, Ibu.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Vita, as our moderator today. Good afternoon, all presenters. Let me present our research. Okay. Okay. Can you see our slides?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Visible, Ibu.
Okay. This is our advanced research. For your information, that we had conducted preliminary research, R&D research. We developed a module based on Canva online applications, and then we conduct this research. So this is advanced research from the previous one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our study title is Integration Technology in English for Specific Purpose, ESP course design for law students. This research is a team research that conducted by Ibu Rini Dwi Septiani, Pak Iron Fajrul, and me, Dewi Surani. We are from private university in Banten, Universitas Bina Bangsa. Okay. Let me start with the introductions. This research background based on some of conditions. The first is the availability of English for specific purpose, or ESP teaching materials, is still limited. So in our university, actually there is no teaching materials like module, textbook, and etc. And the other hand, lecturers need to provide teaching material for improving students' understanding and learning outcomes. So we do, in our preliminary research, we do need analysis to know the necessity of the teaching material for ESP, especially for the law students. And considering the repeat of technology right now, so the teaching material that is easy to access mobile and friendly to users are pursued the generations. Therefore, the study aims to provide descriptions of the technology integration in English for specific purpose course design from students' perception. Our study is a qualitative approach, and in this study, there are 20 participants from second semester law students join in the study that we selected through purposive sampling technique. The data used in this research was collected using online Google Forms and also closed surveys. The data then we analyzed using UTAUT, or the Unified Theory of Acceptance and Applications of Technology. But we only focus on two types of UTAUT in this study. First is PE, performance expectancy, that focus on the device positive impact and utility. And the second one is effort expectancy, or EE, that focus on the device ease of use and value to Bina Bangsa University law students in studying ESP especially. Okay, our result and discussions. The first, the content of English Law e-module. The ESP e-module that we have contains legal related resources for law students, and it integrated online learning tools like YouTube, websites, and other browsers. So it gives students access to online exercise, audio, and videos relating to the content, and especially for the structure and grammar, the tasks were assigned and prepared using web online tests. So it provides and facilitates the students to develop their ESP skills. The technology greatly assists the ESP in the course and the material evaluation process by providing appropriate tools and space for conducting questionnaire, survey, and various forms of testing. In this module also, the authentic audio and video recordings could be accessed online. So give the student chance to view the video and listen to the audio at their own convenience, and providing connection to the recording's original sources. Okay, next, students' perceptions on the English Law for e-module based on UTAUT concept. From the questionnaire recapitulations, revealed that the result indicated that 86% of the law students believe that this e-module had a positive influence on their English language skill during the teaching and learning process. This result is relevant to the previous study from Sandiani, Rahmanu, and Ariana in 2021. State that the students thought the e-module improved their English language skills during instructions. And based on their effort expectations, we found that 83% of students understood how to use the e-module without extensive inventions, and the results need guidance or help to explore it. It is also supported by research result from Fatoni and Surani in 2021 that clear and simple media navigation help the students address the technology problems after studying instructional activities, and encourage the student to use the learning kit because the ease of the options of the e-module that can be accessed via a smartphone. Based on UTAUT theory, we found that the student contended that this e-module have a positive impact on learning material accessibility. The ease of the use of this learning kit allows students to generate significant argument, which directly increase their critical thinking skills during the teaching and learning process. So we can conclude that through e-module and helped by technology, the student can improve their English for specific skills. And because they are millennials generations, they like use digital tools because it gives them access to more sources of information and references. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and also Miss Vita, that's all what I can say. This is our references. Thank you for all your participations and attention. Thank you. Back to Miss Vita.
Well, okay. Thank you very much, Ibu Dewi Surani. Okay. So now it's time for Ibu Dewi Surani to answer some questions or to respond to some comments. So yes, okay, we have Mr. Jermil Angelos. Yeah, I hope I pronounced it right. Raise hand. Yes, okay.
Thank you, Ma'am Rita. I'm Ma'am Vita, sorry. So, by the way, congratulations, Ma'am Surani, for a very good and informative presentation, and as well as your research. So that is very innovative in your part. So I would like to ask, why did you choose qualitative method as your research design for this study?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Angelos, for the great questions. The reason why we conduct this research as a qualitative one, because in our preliminary research, like what I explained before, we have already used the quantitative approach. For your information, this is advanced research. The preliminary research we have R&D we develop a module, and then we do some validations. And we use, we use quantitative, and in order to get the validations, the product that we had developed. So in this research, we only focus on the students' perceptions, and we consider it's enough to to get their perception through the qualitative data. That's our considerations. Use the qualitative approach in this research.
Okay, thank you.
I hope it's clear for you.
Yes, ma'am. So you focus only on this study on the perception of your students, on the use of your developed e-module, right?
Because for the data analyze, we use UTAUT, two types of UTAUT elements, PE and or NEE. And PE is performance acceptance, and effort expectancy. So we consider it's enough to get the data through the questionnaires that we conduct in our qualitative study.
Okay, so in addition to that, this is just a follow-up question. So what is your time? I'm just curious, what is your time frame in conducting, in using this e-module in your students? I mean the time span, okay, the time frame of using the e-module by your students.
You mean the time when we use this? Well, actually, our product or this module haven't haven't used totally in our ESP class, because we still in conducting the process of the research to make it
perfect,
validated, accepted to use in our institutions, because this is something new that we will use in our institutions. Just for your information, in our institution, actually there's no kind of teaching material at all that validated by all lecturers that they have agree to use in all ESP or in some ESP. They actually have different teaching material, and mostly it is tend to general English. So we still try to make this module validated by our institutions, and appropriate with our institutions syllabus and also curriculum. So it's a big effort for us to conduct to use our product in all ESP class. Actually, our university is private university with so many ESP classes. We have industrial, we have law, but actually this is our module focused only for law students, because law faculty is the second one big faculty in our university, but we haven't got validations or permissions from the law faculty.
Okay, well, thank you. So I really appreciate your initiative to have this kind of innovation in your university in teaching the ESP subject. So perceptions only of the students. So this is under developmental. So still there's no validation of the e-module that you are using, right? So
we hope it can be used soon.
Okay. So
thank you,
ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Is it 3 years, Ibu? You have taken 3 years, if I'm not mistaken, from what you said?
Miss Vita?
Yes.
No, for the for the validations process and for this research, our participants was taken from the third semester.
Oh, okay.
Not 3 years. The third semester.
Oh.
Actually, each faculty they have ESP class actually. Like for example, English law 1, 2, but their syllabus is to general English.
Okay.
And there is no e-module, there is not ESP textbook. Therefore, that to be our consideration to conduct this research.
Okay then, yes. Okay, yeah, Ibu.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you, Ms.
So,
Vita.
how about the other participants or presenters? Do you still have the other thing to say to this presentation by Mrs. Dewi Surani and team?
Ms. Vita, may I permission to take, what is it, documentations?
Yes, okay.
Yes. May I share the
Screenshot?
our slide
Screenshot?
first?
Do you want to screenshot? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay. You may, Ibu.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay then. So
Thank you, Ms. Vita.
yes, you're welcome, Ibu. So we think we can continue to the next presentation. Oh yeah, Mrs. Rosalina Alerta and Mrs. Vivian Segumpan, I have already received the video. So will we share the video? Okay, so the presentation is through video. Okay, wait for a moment.
Reading comprehension.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so is the audio and video accessible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
I will continue.
And this is Rosalina Alerta, a public school teacher here in Salawaga National High School. My co-author is Dr. Maria Vivian Sigumpan, the Director of International Relations in Central Mindanao University. It is my honor to present to you the results of our study entitled Guided Reading Lessons featuring digital stories and students' reading comprehension. So for the rationale of this study, students' reading comprehension is very low here in Salawaga National High School. But it's not just here, it's also all over the country. In fact, in the PISA 2018, it was stated there that Philippines got the lowest in reading. So they tested 79 countries. And also, this is in support for the DepEd programs and projects. Because the K-12 program encourages the teachers to enrich the lessons with ICT to improve the students' 21st century skills. And also, this is in support for the project CNR, which is the Care for Norming Readers. This wants to lessen the students' frustration and wants the students to improve into independent readers. And this also to enhance the students' reading comprehension level, because nowadays, reading comprehension is a prevalent problem in education. The DepEd really wants the teachers to develop IMs for reading, especially that IMs are useful to enhance the students' reading comprehension. And also, various studies were conducted already about the use of digital storytelling and how effective it is in educating the learners about the stories. But according to UXL et al. 2011, digital storytelling on a global scale has not been deeply investigated. It is in this light that this study was conducted by the researchers. These are the objectives of this study. Determine the level of reading comprehension of the grade 8 students. Second, develop instructional material to answer the students' reading comprehension needs. The third is to determine the assessment of the English teachers and experts on the developed material for digital storytelling. The theories that were used in this study, or the basis of this study, are the cognitive theory of multimedia learning by Richard A. Mayer, the theory of multiple intelligences by Howard Gardner. Third is the Edgar Day Cone of Experience 1946 in connection with the principle of teaching and learning. And then, of course, the basic model in making instructional material is the ADDIE model. For the research paradigm, we use the IPO model, the input, process, output, in order to develop the instructional material that is to be used for reading comprehension of the students. The methodology of this study, the study was conducted in Salawagan National High School with 38 respondents through the use of purposive sampling. For the instrumentation, field area was used, also the rubric for digital storytelling from Ruby Star, and also the evaluation weighting sheet for print resources adopted from LRMDS of DepEd. And for the methodology, of course, for the data gathering, approval of the school principal and the parents were sought prior to the conduct of the study. The comprehension tests adopted from the field area were distributed to the students, and the development of guided reading lessons followed, and the evaluation of experts were done also. And for the research design, descriptive research design through questionnaires, the primary data gathering technique was used by the researchers. Results and discussion. For the objective one, we have to determine the level of reading comprehension of the grade 8 students. So based on the results, the students belong to the frustration level. So 87% of them, or 33 of them, belong to this level. So majority of the students have low reading comprehension. It is a part that they have difficulty in understanding the text, more so with answering the questions, may it be literal or critical type of questions. They find it hard. And the results reflect that students need to be extensively taught, that they must be provided with full attention and support to enhance their reading comprehension level. Objective 2, which is to develop instruction material to answer the students' comprehension need. The result is that the instruction material IM called guided reading lessons featuring digital stories is appropriate for the frustration readers because the fact that it made use of ICT or technology, and it caters to the different senses of the students. And also, the guided reading lessons has questions, pre-reading activities, post-reading activities with unlocking of vocabularies, and it has literal, inferential, and critical type of questions, and the students are to answer it. And according to Price Gator 2008, readers make a personal connection when they read with a purpose in mind, so this increases reading comprehension of the learners. Third objective, we have to determine the assessment of the English teachers and the experts on the developed material for digital storytelling. So the results, the developed material possess the elements of effective digital storytelling and pass all the criteria of print resources in terms of content, format, presentation, and organization. This is based on the evaluation by the experts and teachers of grade 8. For the conclusion and recommendations, the poor reading comprehension level of the students is alarming, but teachers in the school community can help and support by developing instruction materials tailored to their needs. For example, digital stories could help alleviate the reading situation of the learners, especially that the students nowadays belong to the poor readers, or what they call low reading comprehension. And these materials may be utilized, but the students are encouraged to evaluate them to see its effectiveness in improving the reading comprehension. And this study also would like to encourage the instructors and the educators to use digital stories, to test the digital stories in the different field of specialization in order to determine its efficacy in the reading comprehension. These are just few of the references that were used in this study. Before I end, let me share this quote with you. Technology will not replace teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. This is according to George Cars. Thank you so much. God bless us.
Okay, then, very nice presentation. So, we have Ma'am Vivian Segumpan. So, how about the question and answer session? Will you be able to respond directly?
Hi, ma'am. I'll try.
Okay, then. Yes. So, please, dear all participants and other presenters, you may ask questions or give some response for the presentation by Mrs. Rosalina Alerta and Mrs. Vivian Segumpan. Okay, I hope I pronounced it correctly.
Yes, ma'am. But Miss,
Okay.
I don't know if Rosalina is quite particular with our title, but
Okay then. Yes. So the digital stories. Okay. So is there any example of digital stories?
oh,
Vivian Segumpan?
I don't have a copy right now, ma'am, but Rosalina has it because she was able to use it and implement it.
Oh,
Not actually during the pandemic. This was in
Mhm.
2020, so we didn't really have a choice back then for her research study. So we decided
Okay.
to do it this way because
Okay.
of lockdowns. Yes.
Yes. So did you create the digital stories by yourself or use by download by internet?
She created it. We created it actually, ma'am. Which is
Oh.
the one who tinker everything, which is just good in
Oh no.
uh, tinkering the computer. But she's
Oh.
her. I think it's her voice and the conceptualization. That's ours.
Mm-hmm.
You have to share it.
Well,
Rosalina won't be able to come actually because she is in Salawagan National High School with very poor internet.
okay then. Well, I'm sure all of us really wants to see, really curious to see what do you mean by the digital stories, in particular if it is your own creation.
Yeah, it's just a 2D digital story actually, ma'am.
Mm,
It has a guided reading material,
mhm.
and from there we presented the stories, and then from there we tried to animate one
Okay.
so that at least the students will have an idea on, like
Yes.
most probably
Okay.
they hear and they can see. Sometimes they will learn better if we hear and we see things.
Okay. And how was the students respond at that time?
At that time, I guess, um, there was some sort of an improvement,
Mm,
but then we cannot really, because there was a problem with let's just say when students, because that was lockdown, ma'am.
mhm.
We cannot hold on the students, so only students with let's just say not camera, I'm sorry, cell phone
Okay.
and tablets were able to access the digital stories. But
Okay.
I guess the reaction was, especially from the parents, are
Mhm.
positive, and from the teachers.
Okay. Okay. So they feel enjoyed
Yeah.
by the
As a
okay.
matter
Yeah.
of fact, I think the school is, I think the principal is trying to say to implement, is trying
Mm-hmm.
to encourage others to implement it. Perhaps it does really make a difference. It did make a difference somehow
Yes.
with the reading
Okay then. Well, very nice. So how is it? The other presenters and participants, do you still have the other opinion or comments? Or will it be convenient for you, Miss Vivian Segumpan, if some questions or comments sent through your email?
Yeah, it's all right, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. So maybe you can write your email address in the chat box
Okay.
so it can be accessed by the other participants.
Yes. Sure.
Okay. Thank you very much for the presentation, Miss Vivian. And now we will have the next presentation by Mrs. Yaya, is it right? Mrs. Yaya Rahiasi, Mrs. Widya Murni Wijaya, and Mrs. Liah Siti Sharifah with the paper title, The Need Assessment of Digital Learning Resources for Online Learning in Vocational High Schools. Okay, so has the presenter here? Ibu Yayah, Ibu Widya, Ibu Liah Siti. Have you joined the meet? Oh, it seems that the participant has not joined yet. Okay, then let's skip first for this presentation. We will continue to the next presentation by Mrs. Rosemary R. Lee, Leslie J. Agbulos, and Mr. Ronald M. Gakusan, with the paper title, The Digital Literacy on Career Progression and Work Motivation of Non-Teaching Personnel of North Luzon, Philippines State College. This presentation will be in the form of video. So I will play the video. Okay, wait for a moment.
Congratulations, everyone, especially the steering committee of
Okay, is the audio and video accessible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will continue.
this third International Conference on Education and Technology, or ICETECH 2022. I am Ronald M. Gakusan,
I am Leslie G. Agbulos. I am Rosemary Arlie.
and our research title,
The
The Digital Literacy on Career Progression and Work Motivation of Non-Teaching Personnel of North Luzon, Philippines State College.
Information and communication technologies have penetrated all the areas of contemporary life. In this context, digital literacy has become much more than the ability to handle computers, just like traditional literacy and numeracy. It comprises a set of basic skills which includes the use and production of digital media, information processing and retrieval, participation in social networks for creation and sharing of knowledge, and a wide range of professional computing skills. At work, it is important that employees must be digitally literate to perform basic functions of the computer and internet as well. Digital literacy skilled employees enabled institutions to use technology more effectively, leading to increases in productivity and competitiveness and ensuring that operational objectives are achieved more efficiently. Employees have learned digital and visual literacy so that they can use them to progress in their jobs and in their careers. With digital and visual skills, employees will be more equipped with the necessary skills for research sharing, social networking, surfing the net, instant messaging, and blogging. These skills can help them in assisting users to get the desired information and education. Since these are the skills that can be learned, employees should continue upscaling their digital and visual literacy skills. North Luzon, Philippines State College is an academic institution with thousands of students and stakeholders to serve. In order that clients and stakeholders can be efficiently served on time, employees must be able to apply their digital literacy skills. It is for this that the researchers are interested in conducting this study to measure the digital literacy skills and the influence on career progression and work motivation of non-teaching personnel of the college. Statement of the problem. What is the digital literacy performance of the non-teaching personnel of NLPSC? What is the level of utilization of digital literacy of the respondents? What is the level of motivation of respondents in applying their digital literacy skills at work? What is the level of satisfaction of the respondents in applying their digital literacy skill along career progression?
Methodology. This study made use of descriptive method of research. According to McCombes 2020, this is used when the study intends to identify characteristics, frequencies, trends, and categories of variables. The researchers determined number one, digital literacy performance of the respondents, two, level of utilization of digital literacy, three, level of motivation, and four, digital literacy skills along career progression. Data gathering instrument. A survey checklist questionnaire, which was adopted from the study of Etsikor, Victoria O., James, and Juliana Iwo 2012, and modified by the researchers to suit to the purpose of this study. Population. Total enumeration was used in determining the population of the study. NLPSC non-teaching personnel, we have 18 regular administrative personnel and we have 42 job order personnel. Data gathering procedure. The researchers coordinated with the college officials before floating the questionnaire to the non-teaching staff as the respondents. The researchers personally took the consents of the respondents before asking them to answer the questionnaire, which was later retrieved after the respondents completely accomplished the said instrument. Statistical tools. In the analysis of data, the researchers used the mean to generate the descriptive level of their utilization of digital literacy skills, motivations, and satisfaction along career progression. A 5-point Likert scale was used along with the statistical range and descriptive rating.
As a result, as shown in the table, the computed mean is 3.29 for the level of digital literacy skills of the non-teaching personnel. As the conclusion, the respondents are fairly skilled in their digital literacy skills. And the recommendation, non-teaching personnel who serve as the respondents of this study are encouraged to attend digital literacy trainings and seminars to enhance their digital literacy skills. As shown in the table, the computed mean is 3.39 as to the level of utilization of digital literacy of the respondents. As the conclusion, the respondents claim that they moderately utilize their digital literacy skills at work. As a recommendation, the respondents should continue applying their digital literacy skills at work to upscale the operational system. For problem number 3, the level of motivation of respondents, as shown in the table, is 4.22. So therefore, as a conclusion, the respondents are very highly motivated in applying digital literacy skills at work. For the recommendation, the Faculty of Bachelor of Science and Computer Science Department should conduct trainings on the use of digital literacy to the non-teaching personnel of the college in order to enhance their digital literacy skills which they can apply in their job. As shown in Table 4, the computed mean is 3.81. So, as to the conclusion, the respondents are satisfied in applying their digital literacy skills along career progression. As the recommendation, the college should continue to allocate budget for digital literacy trainings of the non-teaching personnel and purchase of ICT devices for use in the different offices of the college. Thank you very much.
Okay, well then, that will be all for the presentation by Mrs. Rosemary Arley, Mrs. Leslie G. Abulos, and Mr. Ronald M. Jefferson. Similarly to the other presentation video, whenever you have questions or comments, you may write them down in the message box, in the message column, which then we will help you to send them to the presenter's email. Okay, then now let's continue to the next presentation. Well, it turned out that Ibu Yayah and her team sent us video. I just found it recently, so I will play the video by Ibu Yayah Rahyasi, Ibu Widya Murni, and Ibu Liah Siti Syarifah. This is the previous presentation actually, with the title "The Need Assessment of Digital Learning Resources for Online Learning in Vocational High School." Wait for a moment.
Good morning. I am Yaya Rahyasi from UPI with...
Okay, is the audio and video visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we will continue.
My team will present our material entitled "The Need Assessment of Digital Learning Resources for Online Learning in Vocational High Schools." Introduction. Learning resources have some function and roles, including increasing education productivity, providing more scientific fundamentals of learning, providing learners the opportunity to develop as per their ability and potential, and increasing stabilization of learning with various communication media. The development of digital learning resources and their platform in this research is the response to the government's program in revitalizing of vocational high schools with my boost vocational education in with various communication media. The development of digital learning resources and their platform in this research is the response to the government's program in revitalizing of vocational high schools with my boost vocational education in Indonesia. With regard to the current development of digital technology, creation of various learning resources is quite a possibility, especially digital learning resource with potential to solve learning issues and facilities learning activities and meet each of learners' character, and that is accessible to any individual anytime and anywhere. The aim of this research is to analyze the necessary to develop digital learning resource for online learning at vocational high school, especially for productive subject. The method, this research use qualitative method to describe the fact based on the condition of objective research. This research was conducted for 6 months from March until August 2022. The data were collected through literature study and file study. The literature study was conducted by collecting relevant research results and references, and which the file study was conducted through observation, interview, and focus group discussion involving the Department of Education and Vocational High School, 3 provinces in Indonesia, Vocational High School in Bandung City, Vocational High School in Palembang City, and Vocational High School in Purworejo. The data collected were analysis using qualitative data analysis technique to procedure and overview of that kind of digital learning resources was needed by vocational high school students in online learning, especially for productive subjects. Result and discussion. Number 1, based on the result of focus group discussion for practice of productive subject at vocational high school, face-to-face direct meeting is recommended to maximizing ultimate goal of learning. Therefore, based on file need, the development of application is focused of full filing learning resources with theoretical substance of vocational high school of productive subject. Number 2, moreover, with regard to productive subject for real practice display of certain skills and to provide student experience for them to feel a certain condition of practice. It is necessary to develop audio-visual digital learning resource or video media. Number 3, hardware needed by user to access the application or digital learning resources includes computer, laptop, smartphone, or another supporting device. While software needed include operating system and browser. Based on the observation result it is found the school that are the research sample have adequate ICT facilities. Number 4, one of the main determinant of the quality of vocational learning online is tutorial. The researcher identify the extent of teacher ICT competency in teaching adopted from ICT competency framework for teacher from UNESCO. The results show that the teacher actually have a qualified ICT competence. With regard to user, student, and teacher need analysis, the researcher find the quality of vocational learning online directly influences students' satisfaction. Meanwhile, in important structure supporting the quality of online learning consists of number 1, communication, number 2, digital media, number 3, interaction, number 4, facilities, and number 5, tutorial. Thank you.
Okay, well then that will be all for the presentation by Ibu Yaya and her team through the video. So similarly to the other video presentation, whenever you have questions or comments, you can write in the message box. Then we will help you to send them to the presenter's email. Okay, dear all participants and presenters, let's move to the next presentation by Ibu Dea Irwanita. Ibu Dea Irwanita, are you here? And I'm afraid Ibu Dea Irwanita also has not sent video. Okay, then no confirmation. Okay, let's move to the next presentation. Due to the 8 presenters cannot make their presentation due to the other duties, so we will skip to the 9th presenters. That will be Ibu Yeni Indriati Widyaningsih. So Ibu Yeni.
Yes, okay. I'm here.
Yeah, with the paper title, Word Wall Application as an Interactive Learning Media in Mastering English Vocabulary at Elementary School.
Yeah.
Okay, Ibu Yeni, you have 10 minutes to present the presentation.
Okay, I would like to present it directly. I will share screen first. Is it seen? It can be seen?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, okay, Bu.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Introduce myself first. My name is Yeni Indriati Widyaningsih. I am from Institut Pendidikan Indonesia Garut. Here I would like to present my paper with the title Word Wall Application as an Interactive Learning Media in Mastering English Vocabulary at Elementary School. Okay. For the introduction, that in learning English, it is necessary to have the ability to understand and master English vocabulary. One of our problems, especially in learning English in elementary school in Garut, there is the lack of creativity of the teacher using learning method or media so that the English vocabulary mastery and English skill of the student of elementary school is very low. And then when the pandemic, most of the teacher using only, for example, Google Classroom and then Zoom. So we think that if we use an interactive or an attractive media, such as Word Wall, it's very useful to teach our students, especially the elementary student, in learning English, so they can master more vocabulary. Okay, next. The theory that we take is from Jan's theory about cognitive. Jan said that there are 4 stages in learning. The first stage is sensory motor stage. It's from birth to 2 years, and then pre-operational stage, it's age 2 until 7, and then concrete operation stage, it's from the age 7 to 11, and the last formal operational stage, it's age 12 and up. So we can conclude that the student in elementary school is in the stage of concrete operational stage. And the characteristic of the student in that stage, they tend to learn by doing, by experiencing, and then by a concrete media or the concrete object, and then like to play, and then they also like to moving. So I think it's very suitable if we use word wall application to teach English, especially to to make their vocabulary rich. Okay, and then the research purpose. Okay, this study aims to determine the effect of using word wall application to improve English vocabulary mastery at the elementary school student in Garut. Then next. Let me explain about the word wall application. And this is the template that you can see on the slide, that the template in word wall application is many. You can use it freely. And what is the word wall application? According to Aribowo, word wall is a website-based application which can be used to create learning media such as quizzes, matchmaking, pairing, anagram, word randomization, word search, and etc. And then based on Widikasi 2008, she stated that word wall has several advantages. The first advantage is support the development student vocabulary and spelling that can help them in writing activities. And then the second, contain references that support their writing during English lesson. This advantage will help students who have difficulty in conveying their ideas in writing. And the third, this media can also help students in developing paragraph because word wall is organized based on an idea related to the given time. And the fourth, this media also provides many activities that allow students to practice write instantly and automatically. And the research method that we use is an experimental research method using a quantitative approach because this research requires treatment to find out the effect of word wall media on student vocabulary mastery. And then the result, when we analyze the data, first we obtain the result of, and the instrument we use pre-test and post-test for the instrument to collect the data. This is a table that you can see. This is the data from the result of pre-test that we conduct. From this data, you can see that from 20 participants, only 2 students that have completed the standard 18 students have not completed the standard criterion minimum or KKM. It means that only 10% of students who have completed the KKM. This is the data that we get on the first test or at a pre-test. And then after we applied the learning activity using a word wall application, then we take post-test, and from the data, there's an increasement, as you can see, after we apply the word wall, and then we get the data of test, the result of test. It can be seen that from 20 students, about 13 students have completed the KKM, or the minimum category, minimum criterion score. And about, sorry, I make a mistake. And about, it's not 17, I mean 7. And 7 students have not completed. There is an increasement. We can say that about 65% students have completed the KKM, and then 35% students have not completed. And for the average score is 70.2. And for the KKM, or the minimum criterion score, is 70. Okay, there's an increasingly. And then we also do analysis about mean and standard deviation. And then we also carry a normality test. This is the table that you can see for the statistical calculation. And then we also carry a homogeneity test, and then a t-test. From the t-test, we find out the influence of word media on English vocabulary mastery. Then here are the results. Okay. And then the last, we also carry analysis by Engen test result. Okay, for the conclusion, for the conclusion, I'm sorry. Yeah, for the conclusion, based on the result of analysis data, the researcher obtained the conclusion about the effect of word media on the English vocabulary mastery. There is an influence of word media on student English vocabulary mastery. This was based on the pre-test and post-test data calculation. The two-tail value was 0.000 with a significant level of 5%. Meanwhile, hypothesis testing criteria, if the significant value or two-tail is less than 0.05, then the HO is rejected and HA is accepted. Therefore, HO is rejected and HA is accepted. This indicates that the student mastery of English vocabulary is increasing. On the first test, or we call pre-test, before applying word application in learning, it's about 90% or 18 students who have not reached or have not completed the KKM, and about 10% or 2 students who have reached the KKM. And after the researcher conducted research using word media, there was an increase, and we found out about 65% or 13 students who had reached the KKM, and then 35% of students who had not reached KKM. And then, in other words, we can say, or we can conclude that there is an influence, there is an effect on the use of word media on English vocabulary mastery. And then the last, for the recommendation of this research. After the research, we hope that the teacher can use word application in learning activities in the classroom. And here are some benefits of word application. First benefit is saving teacher preparation time, because when we make when we create or design an activity on a word wall, it's not take much time. Yeah, as long as the teacher have prepared the content or the material. And then the second benefit is making online classes interactive. Making students engage in online class is a big challenge to many teachers. By using word wall can help, it can substitute to face-to-face class worksheet. We can now get students to do word search or matching exercise without having to print out the handout. And then the third, taking over paper worksheet. At the dawn of technological breakout, worksheets are no longer limited to the paper. Teachers are now supported in distributing and making worksheets either in online or offline classroom. Using exercise on a word wall properly can reduce teacher workload on paper stuff like printing handout or making papers. And then the next benefit is allowing students to study at their level. The student can study based on their level, and the teacher will know which student is fast by doing the exercise or doing the material that we given through the through the word wall application. And then student can move as soon as they finish at the previous question or at the previous worksheet from the word wall application. Student can also do exercise again if they are not satisfied or if they want to review the lesson. And then the next benefit is helping teachers in tracking student performance. Once students submit their answer, teacher can view the result in their own file. The result section indicates how much time each student spent on the exercise and how many correct answers they get. Also, there is a score distribution for the teacher to have an overview of the class result. And the last benefit is providing many choices of interchangeable exercise. As I have to mention before, that word wall is not limited to the regular multiple choice quiz, but there are many templates for the teacher to be chosen from. There is many templates or an interesting template that can be used for create various activities in the class. So I think it's very attractive media in learning English, especially for children. But we can also apply word wall not only for learning English or learning about vocabulary. We can use this application for another subject. For example, if you want to use this for teaching Bahasa Indonesia or maybe for IPA, for science, it can be used. As long as the teacher have prepared the material or the content of the word wall application. Okay, I think that's all my presentation. Thank you so much, and I will be happy to answer if there's any question. Thank you.
Well, okay. Thank you very much for the nice presentation, Ibu Yeni Indriati. Yeah, so we open for the discussion. So you may ask questions or comments for the other presenters addressed to Ibu Yeni. Yes, please. So it is for what grade, Ibu? Okay, yeah, we have Mr. Jamil.
I use this at the 4th grade.
Oh, 4th grade, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, we have Mr. Jermil Angeles. Okay.
Thank you, Ma'am Vita. By the way, congratulations, Ma'am Yani. So I would like to ask you, since your respondents is elementary students or pupils, right? So I am in a university level. So do you think I can use this application, the word wall application, to my students? For example, in teaching industrial arts subjects. Can you recommend it?
I think it's not suitable for level student in university. It can be used for the children because some template in a word wall is like a game and it's very simple. So it's not suitable for the student at university.
Okay, so
maybe I can show you some of the template like this. Wait.
Yes, okay. The example, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I will show the example.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I am thinking if this word wall application can be suitable to my students. So if yes, so if you highly recommend that, I will integrate this application, okay, in teaching
okay. This is
industrial arts related subject. Yes.
Okay. This is the template that you can see on the word wall application. There are so many templates. This is in Indonesian, but you can choose in English.
We haven't seen it before.
Haven't seen it? Okay, yes. Wait. Okay. This one?
Not yet.
Yeah. This is some template that we can use to teach a student at elementary school. Have it seen? Sudah terlihat?
Not yet, ma'am.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you can stop share first and then choose
Yes.
different tab.
Okay.
Okay. And close your presentation. Yeah.
Sudah, Ibu?
Oh, belum.
Belum.
Yes. Okay, Ibu.
Yeah. This is some interactive template that we can use to create game or maybe what is it? Media in learning English or another subject, but it's suitable for the student in elementary school or maybe in junior high school. It can be used. And then we can see there's a permainan perkocokan and then benarkan kalimat or then quiz, roda acak. And then I will show you some example for roda acak. Okay, this is the example that I have made.
It looks like spinning wheel. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like spinning wheel. So the student
Yes.
can play like this.
Okay.
And
I
then
think
when
I
it
can use
stops, they
that
have to
spinning
answer
wheel
the
for the
question
recitation
based
in my
on
class.
this one. Like this. Or maybe like playing maze, there's maze. That's so many games actually.
Yes.
Okay, that's only some example.
So it means the students also have to access this site. Yes. Yeah, Ibu.
Okay. Yeah.
Ibu Yeni?
Yeah.
So it means that the students also have to access this site.
Yeah. We can share the link after we design this template or this model of learning. We can share to the student and let them do. It can be do in the classroom or at home if they have Android or cell phone.
So it means for the application you need internet connection.
Yeah.
Okay, so it cannot be done offline, yeah?
It cannot be done offline.
Okay, then yes.
Okay. So
yes,
it's
okay.
just like game-based application, right, for elementary students. So here in my school at NUSD, somehow we use the same kind of application. Right? If you are familiar with quizzes or Kahoot, okay, we use that as a learning platform to assess somehow, okay, the students' knowledge, okay, regarding the concepts. Okay.
Yes. Okay. But can we edit the content, Ibu?
Yes, we can change, we can edit.
Questions, can we edit?
We can change, we can edit.
Yes.
Actually, it's very easy. You just click wordwall.net.
Yes. Yeah, it will be suitable for the subject of TEYL, maybe, yeah. Teaching English for young learners. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
It can be used not only for English, Miss. We can we can use it, for example, for another subject. Maybe we can use it for science, IPA, and then for Bahasa Indonesia or another subject.
Yes, okay. Yeah, very nice, Ibu. So how about the other participants? Do you still have other questions or comments? Yes, okay, then it seems that that will be enough for this presentation. Now let's move to the 10th presenter, Mr. Jamil Angelus. Yeah, I hope I pronounced it correctly.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, with the paper title, Learning the Basic Skills in Industrial Arts, a massive open online course for pre-service tech folk educators. Yeah, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Angelus, you have 10 minutes to present the presentation.
Vita, I would like to confirm if you already received my pre-recorded presentation.
Video.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I said
so you will you will use the video?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, wait for a moment.
Thank you.
Okay, wait for a moment because I thought you will present it live. I have already found your name actually in the list of the file, but I thought that you will present it live, so I did not download the video. Wait for a moment. This one.
To the organizers of this conference to make cooperation.
Okay, is the audio and video visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank you.
okay, I will continue.
Presenters and participants, magandang umaga. Salamat pagi, good morning. I am Jeremy Ramos Angeles, a faculty member of the College of Education, Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology, Philippines. Together, we may co-author and very supportive Dean of the College of Education, Dr. Angelica Ordanza Cortez. It is my greatest privilege and pleasure to present our research entitled Learning the Basic Skills in Industrial Arts, a massive open online course for pre-service technical educators. On January 2020, the first case of COVID-19 was reported in the Philippines. Thousands of school closures had been enacted around the country owing to COVID-19's vulnerability, even in classroom settings. With that, As stipulated in CHED Memorandum No. 4 Series of 2020, it has become an urgent need to explore other innovative learning modalities that will facilitate migration from traditional to the implementation of flexible teaching and learning options. Moreover, in reference to CHED No. 3 Memorandum No. 17 Series of 2021, the Commission on Higher Education conducted a meeting that aims to establish a repository of OERs available to all HEIs in Region 3. In response to this call, the purpose of the researcher of this study is to develop and validate an open education resource for OER in the form of massive open online course for Introduction to Industrial Arts Part 2 that is common specialization course for both Vita and BSI students. This course that covers basic knowledge and skills in the areas of automotive, civil technology, electronics, electricity, and metalworks. The main goal of developing this MOOC is to offer a skill-based instruction for the developing or areas in the setup of new normal. Using a descriptive developmental research design through ADDIE model for instructional design, the development of this MOOC IA is through the help of industrial arts and MOOC experts. Industrial arts teachers and instructors, and students who serve as the participants of the study which are purposefully selected for this study. The data gathered in this study were statistically treated using mean and qualitative components were described. This research aims to develop, validate, and assess a massive open online course in IIA TLEHE8 following the ADDIE model, which stands for Analyze, Define, Develop, Implement, and Evaluate. In the analysis phase, the CHED Memorandum No. 78 Series of 2017 was the basis for the development of the MOOC-IA as to its content and learning competencies with its corresponding time allocation. Based on this analysis, the researcher identified 5 units or main topics to be included in this study. Based on the interviews conducted with industrial arts instructors, there was no utilization of existing MOOC in their classes. These findings and analysis serve as the basis for the development of the MOOC-IA. As the platform, the researcher gathered data showing that Facebook is the most accessible social media platform not only for students but in general as well. With this, the MOOC-IA was delivered through Facebook Social Learning Group. The design of the MOOC under study complies with the following. First, reflects the realization of the objective. Second, the components of the design functions to serve the objectives. And third, the design aims to achieve the holistic design that really integrates standards, creativity, and feasibility. The components of the MOOC is on compliance with the different application standards such as CHED Memoranda, Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, and ex-MOOC standards. In the development phase, this study considered the substantive and procedural aspect of the development. The content of the MOOC-IA is based on the module of the college used for the course Industrial Arts Part 2. The contents of this MOOC are basic knowledge and skills in automotive, civil technology, electronics, electricity, and metalworks was utilized to pre-evaluate the content of this MOOC. In the procedural aspect, the steps of developing the MOOC in the platform was discussed in the textual manner. In the implementation phase, the developed MOOC-IA was implemented to 20 second-year BSIA and Vita students. Before the implementation, the students were oriented on how the implementation would be carried out. In general, the students enjoy using the MOOC-IA. It was successfully executed. The teacher observers commended that the MOOC is another innovation and strategy in teaching industrial arts, especially in this new normal. This MOOC-IA goes under a triangular evaluation to assess the validity of the learning material. As assessed by 2 industrial arts experts and a MOOC developer, it was revealed that the MOOC-IA obtained a mean rating of 2.99 and 2.967, verbally interpreted as very good as the content and design used in this MOOC-IA respectively. As to the assessment of the instructional used by the teachers, they have claimed that the MOOC-IA best suits the learning needs of the students and that this material was able to offer students the learning opportunities that they need in acquiring knowledge in industrial arts as their own convenience. As to the assessment of the instructional used by the students, they have obtained MOOC-IA as their most preferred learning modality compared to modular learning. They also claim that the platform used for this MOOC-IA is highly beneficial and accessible for them. Based on the results of this study, here are the conclusions of the study as reflected in the 5 phases of development, which are analysis phase, design phase, development phase, implementation phase, and evaluation phase. These 5 phases lead to the development of the massive open online course in Industrial Arts Part 2.
Okay, then, so that will be for the presentation video from Mr. Angeles. And Mr. Angeles has already here also. So will it be convenient for you to answer questions or comments live? Okay, yeah, we have Ibu Dewi Surani. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, silakan Ibu.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Vita. Very nice video presentation, Mr.
Thank you,
Angeles.
Ron.
And very excellent innovations of MOOC for, what is it, supporting your class. It's a bit similar with what I had done before, that I developed a module and then you develop the, what is it, the content, I think, yeah, the content of your subject material through MOOC. Okay. I'm very curious with the implementations. I think the implementations of the content of your product in the class of 20 students, right?
Yes, selectively, yes.
Yes,
20
selected
students.
participants. Okay.
Participants.
What you like to share a bit with us, the process of the implementation stage, the readiness, maybe the difficulty, the excess of, as I don't know in your country, because in our country, especially in my place, the signal connections and the financial, what is it? The financials to be the biggest problem here.
Yeah.
So what you like to share about it? Thank you.
Okay, so since before I decided to use or to choose the MOOC as a platform for my students, okay, so since the start of pandemic given us the chance, okay, to think of new innovations, okay, to cope with the situation in the new normal. So from that, so I do a survey to my students. I ask them on what platform or online platform they are confident to use, where they can access easily. So they say it is a Facebook. So since then, the Facebook has features called FB Social Learning Group. So I see the features of FB Social Learning Group and check, okay, the standards or the policies on the creation of the MOOC. And from that, when I match that, so I can say that I can confidently say that I can use the social learning group as a platform for an MOOC, or in my students, okay, can complete the course, okay, wherein there's a series of topics or units they need to accomplish that can also meet the competencies they need to acquire in my subject. Okay, so from that, so at the very beginning of the implementation, okay, of this MOOCIA, so at first I need to strictly monitor the performance of my students if they complete each task, because each unit has eight components. So starting from the introduction, there is a pre-assessment. Okay, so watching the video discussion and as well giving them time to read the learning module if they don't have the chance, okay, to watch the video discussion included in the MOOC, so they can read the learning module. And then there is a set of activities, performance tests they need also to accomplish before they proceed to the next topic. Okay, something like just like on how we explore the MOOC. So that is how I give them the instruction, okay, in the use of MOOC, okay, with the use of the FB Social Learning Group. And then later on, they enjoy it. So compare to the modular, okay, modular learning. So of course they enjoy the use of MOOC as um as for the interview guide, okay, as they probably answered, okay, in the interview guide right after the implementation of the MOOCIA. Well, actually, it is triangular, okay, assessment wherein not only the students but as well as the I have these professors and associate professors, okay, here in the university and as well as experts in the MOOC who check and validated the content and the design of the MOOC using the FB Social Learning Group.
Okay, so everything started from the analysis need, yeah.
Yeah.
And I assume that your students have a very good digital literacy using the technology itself, so they don't have any a bigger problem in accessing the content in MOOC. Is it right?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Because we help each other, of course. Even though there are some cases that, for example, we can control the weather, wherein there's a really poor connection. So I give them time to complete the task, okay, at the given situation. So it is helping hand between you as a teacher and the students, okay, just to meet the competency needed for the course.
Yes. Mr. Angelus, may I know your product is public access or only, where is it, can be accessed in your university? Because as I know, MOOC is a public platform that I also have a plan to make the content as my doctoral project.
Yes.
So may I know your, what is it, your product is a what is it? Public
public or for intern consumption. Yes, is that what you mean?
Yes, yes, consumptions. Yes, sorry.
Is it for only internal consumption or has
internal or
publicly distributed?
Okay, well, that's a good question. So, well, actually, the learning module, okay, is already published at the OER or open resource for higher education, and then the MOOCIA, since this is in developmental stage, so we see if it is effective for my students. So once that we prove it. Okay, so we crafted another MOOC for another subjects. And once it was successfully implemented with my students, we can open it, okay, for the public.
Okay,
for the public consumption. But just for this study, since this is developmental, okay, so we only focus on the, as my respondents are my students, as my respondents for this study.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Angelus. If you don't mind, later I would like to private, where is it? Have a communications with you about MOOC, if you don't mind.
Sure, it's my privilege. Yes.
You can write your.
Yes, I'll send my email address here in the chat box.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Will that be enough, Ibu Dewi?
Yes, Miss Vita.
Okay.
Thank you.
How about the other participants? Do you still have the other questions or comments for Mr. Angelus? Yes, Mr. Angelus also has already written his email address on the chat box. You can contact him later on whenever you have further questions or do you want to create another communication.
Yes,
I am very welcome for collaboration with you, Ma'am Dewi. Yes, since I know that you are in the somehow the pilot stage of your e-module, so I can help you technically on how you are going to complete, for example, your e-module.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
To have it.
Well, how the other participants? Okay, then it seems that will be enough. We can continue to the last presenter. Okay, the last presenter will be how is it? Bell Joshua M. Tizon. Is it correct? I pronounced correctly. Network? Yes. Okay. Mr. Tizon, will you present live or by using video?
Yes. I prepared for the presenting online, ma'am.
Yes, how? Will you present your
Present online.
live? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Live. So
Can
I
I share,
don't.
ma'am?
So I don't need to play the video.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Okay. With the paper title, Network Security Policies and Procedure based on the Threat-Driven Approach for Ilocosur Polytechnic State College. Okay. Is that right? Your paper? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So Mr. Tyson will present his paper live. You have 10 minutes to present the paper, Mr. Tyson. You may take the stage.
Thank you. Okay. Good morning to number one. So I am Joshua Tyson from the Don Maria Marcos State University. So presenting the entitled security policy procedure based on the threat-driven approach for Ilocos Polytechnic State College. So, introduction, as the new technologies arise, the establishment of the organization and putting a place with a stable and reliable network in an institution. So, then statement of the objective. The objective of this study is to aim, design, and establish the network security policy to provide unified security and reliable computer network in the institution. And especially aim to determine the existing policy and standard operational procedure of network security for Ilocos Polytechnic State College. Next, then create network security policy standard operational procedure for Ilocos Polytechnic State College. And the last objective is to validate the design network security policy and procedure based on the threat-driven approach. In the part of methodology, so the researcher adapt the descriptive and developmental research design to this study, and also adapted the descriptive method to determine the current issues, policy, and procedure through the process of information and collection. The purpose of the threat-driven model is to provide defender which the systematic analysis of the control of defense need to the company or the institution. So this is the figure I used to model, use the research. First is to determine the business requirements of our environment as the risk and threat and vulnerability related to the management of information and information system, and also to protect the requirements to the entire system of the institution. And also the once the network of ISPS or institution is running via cloud, so the threat and attackers is prone via cloud. So in terms of response, all the appropriate activity to take the following the detection of the security activity. So the attacker prevent via endpoint security from different access point or local area network. And also once the last part is the cover. Once the activity solved or store the data information in the timely manner, any capability of service were impaired due to security incident happen in the IT system. And then this is the based on the conduct data gathering. So distribution of respondent for the policy created. I have the 5 respondent from the Department of CCS or College of Computing Studies, and also the head of the data privacy officer, and also the director of information services, head of technical, board of secretary, and acting principal of the institution. The table 2 distribution of the respondent from the validation of instrument. So we have 8 respondents also from the College of Computing Studies, Technical Department, Director of Information Services, Board of Secretary, College of Teacher Education, and Head of the Tech Training Services, Faculty, and head of the Policy Development and Intellectual Property, or IPR. Based on the result and discussion of the study, so the existing network policy standard operational procedure of network security for a local polytechnic state college has not yet documented. So the current process of the institution is file sharing in the IS-based practice conventionally. It's the commonly way transferring file is using flash drive. Then that flash drive is prone for the malware or malicious code detect for our computer. This is what they call the traditionally way of transferring or sharing files. And next is validation of created policy in terms of functionality. So we got the very good match as a weighted mean. And also validation of created policy in terms of efficiency. From 4 questions that determine the current policy is validated get weighted mean for 4.30. And in terms of benefits, weighted average get by 4.60. So conclusion and recommendation. So this project is primarily aimed to help the student with privacy and security of safety of the information of the institution, and also determine the threshold for the detection of the attacker or hacker to the network. Based on the result of the study, so the researcher conclude the policy created for the network security for an institution that presented to the Board of Trustees. And also the researcher crafted network security policy for the utilization of ISPSC, and also designed the policy and standard operational procedures for the network security for the institution or the Ilocos Polytechnic State College. And also it can be utilized to enforce the compliance for ISO 27001 and ISO 9001 2015 certification. And based on the recommendation of the study, so the recommendation, the policy and standard operational procedure for the network security of Ilocos Polytechnic State College by the researcher along with the current security policy of ISPS should be recommended approved by the Board of Trustees. Then the developed security policy and for the network security of ISPSC should be coordinated with the Office of the Management and Information System of the institution. Design policy and standard operational procedure for the network security of ISPSC can be continuously enhanced for the future improvement for the network security also, and comply for the ISO 27001. And also the policy standard operational procedure that was developed can be adopted by the future researcher and also for the institution. And that's all, ma'am, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Thiessen. Sorry, how should we pronounce your name? Thiessen or
Joshua Thiessen.
Thiessen.
Yes.
Thiessen. Okay. Yes. So that will be the presentation from Mr. Thiessen. Now it's time for the other participants. Whenever you have questions, you may raise your hand first, or maybe turn on your microphone. Yes, please. Oh, okay. We have Mr. Joel Alvarez. Okay. Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ma'am Vita. So first of all, congratulations to the presenter for a well-developed security system for your university. My question is that, do you have any prior analysis of the situation of your school before conducting this research, since this is a developmental, so the need for such development must be first established before proceeding to the development of the actual output. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, regarding on the analysis of the current situation of the institution, they conduct a what they call a survey in order to determine the current problem or existing network security of the institution.
Okay, sir. So thank you. So I suggest that on your next papers, if you will develop again, so greatly establish the need to develop for you to have a stronger pillar of the study. Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your nice advice, and thank you to all of us.
Okay, thank you for the suggestion, Mr. Alvarez. How about the other participants? Do you have the other questions or comments for this presentation? Network security policies, okay, and procedure based on the threat-driven approach. So threat is an abbreviation. Mr. Tizon. Threat is an abbreviation. Okay. Would you please tell us once again what does threat stand for? Because some participants there are some participants newly joined from the other rooms.
Threat is the example of threats is for the front or risk of a network for the attacker.
Yes. So what does T stand for if it is an abbreviation?
T, yes, ma'am.
Yes, how is it, Mr. Tizon?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what does threat stand for if it is an abbreviation?
Threat is commonly called risk of a network.
Okay, yes. Thank you. How about the other participants? Do you still have questions or comments for the last presenter? Or will that be convenient for you to answer a question sent through your email, Mr. Tizon?
No, ma'am. I'm free to answer the question from my email.
Okay. So if you don't mind, you can write your email address in the chat box. So whenever the other participants wants to ask you a question, they can send them through your email. Okay, yes.
I already post in the group chat.
Yes.
My email.
Okay. Thank you. Well, it seems that all presenters have already present their presentation today. So give applause once again for all of us. Yes. Okay. We want to confirm first. Have you filled the attendance list? Yes. Sudah ya Bapak Ibu? Okay. And also the presenters list. Have you fill it out?
They already.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And also about the evaluation form. Have you fill it out?
Yes, ma'am. Done with the evaluation.
Yes. Okay then. Dear all presenters and participants, this concludes the session today. We are thankful for your attendance here. It is a great expectation that we will be able to meet again in other occasion. We do apologize for any inconveniences during this session. Whenever you want to watch the video conference, you may go to our YouTube official website, So you can go to the YouTube site and then you can search by writing Universitas PGRI Madiun. Yeah, so then you will find our page over there. And we are delighted if you also like, comment, and share the video. And also don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. We'll see you again on the next conference. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. If you want to join the other break room, it will also be convenient for us. So you can also join the other room. We still have room A until H, but I'm afraid it seems that some rooms have already finished their presentation. Okay then, thank you once again, dear sirs and madam, for this today's session. And goodbye. Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Vita.
Thank you, Miss Vita.
Thank you all
Thank you, Miss Vita.
presenters. See you.
Thank you all
for this
presenters.
Congratulations,
Hope we
everyone.
will meet again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you.
See you.
Looking forward, man.
Okay.